I haven't made a do-it-yourself video for a long time, so I hope this works out. Okay, what I wanted to show, this is how to make tissue roses. It's made out of tissue paper, toilet roll tissue paper. Yeah, and I always just use the single ply. I get it at Walmart. I think it's a great value brand. Sometimes it's hard to find single plies. And for this I use about 10 or 11 sheets. And this is what it looks like before I finish them off. Okay. Here's another example of a different one. This was, for this I used a silicone mold, this one. And for this one I used a die cut. A die cut. I just did the same technique, only I laid it on top of the die cut to see if it would work, and it worked. Okay, so this is how I do it. And there's a lot of YouTubes up there showing how to do this. This is just how I do it. So I use a spray bottle of water and some very thin watered down white glue. Just a little bit of this. You don't really need much. And I just spray the form and lay in a tissue. And the first one oftentimes will tear when you first put it in. And I just use a brush to tap it into the mold. And when I put the layers on, I turn them and try and center it. And about the third or fourth layer, I'll just take and add a little bit of white glue, the watered down white glue. It makes the center a lot stiffer and keeps the pieces together. You can do this without adding any white glue, and when you do that, you can peel each one of those layers off, which is kind of fun if you're bored. See, there isn't quite enough liquid there to allow that to lay down properly. So yeah, this is kind of like watching paint dry. And have I tried it by adding more layers at once? Nope. You can also do this technique and fill molds up with the tissue, but when you do that, you want to tear, what most people do is tear it up into pieces and then pat it all down. You can do it really quickly. You know, to make molds of hearts or whatever. Bored yet? I'm concentrating. I don't talk when I concentrate. So should I have music going? Almost done. I actually enjoy this part. I'm not sure why, because it's so easy to do. Something to concentrate on, procrastinate in. And maybe a tiny drop. And a little water. And the last sheet. Okay. Now, you can let this air dry. I'm just pulling it up a little bit off of that edge of the mold there. Or you can use a heat tool and blow it dry. That's why I'm not using any mats underneath this, because every time I do it I forget it's under there, and then I wrinkle them all up with the heat tool and have to buy a new one. Okay, so this is, you can see where it's beginning to turn white there. And you can pull this out of the mold before it's completely dry, so that you can get use the heat tool on the other side, or just pull it out and let it air dry while you make another one. I'm not sure this has been long enough. I'll try and pull it out. Could you hear me over the heat tool? Let me see. Oof. Yep, there it is. Okay, and then you can dry this side with the heat tool. I'm going to set this to the side because we've already got this one. Now, what I like to do is, and shoot. Oh no. I do want to use my other mat for this. Okay. So I just, you can decorate these any way you want. I like to, oh, I need to put the glove on. I like to use my homemade permanent ink sprays. And I'm going to spray this first. These are pretty dark colors and I want them to be a little lighter, so I'm going to spray. This is just, oh, this is only 70 volume. Normally I would use the higher 90 volume alcohol because it dries faster. And then woohoo, point it the right way, girl. You have a little bit of yellow left. Okay. Okay, stop. Oh, there I go again. Drying on the mat. Come on, get off. Ah. Now, normally you would take a little more time and go ahead and get the colors all the way through. Actually, I kind of like this white underneath the bottom. Okay, and there it is, kind of. Now, what I normally do before I scrunch, it's still wet, so it's going to be a little harder to do, but I go ahead and I pull off pieces around the edges. I pull these points off, and I tailor it, you know. So that it doesn't look like it's just a bunch of squares of tissue glued together in a glump. Although, I like that look too. Gosh, I hope I've kept this in the camera's view. Okay, so you get the idea there. And there it is. And then you have these, and you can use that, you know how we do that. Save it for something else. Okay, now if you don't have a mold, and I have not tried this before, so this will be a first, but I'm going to try it. I think you could just lay paper down like this. And of course you could make a larger center. You didn't see what brand it was, did you? Doesn't really matter. Oh, that's hot. Oh, I hope I'm not too far out of view. Let me see if I can lift it. You could probably put something down like a button and do that. This might not work because it doesn't have any embossing in it to help tie it together. This is, oops. Oh look, I antiqued it. I should have thought of that to try it with a button instead, because you could just use a button for the center of it, but let me see. Yeah, it's holding together. Okay. It's not dry enough, but I think you get the idea. So, and then normally I would take and, you know, start doing this to it, pulling it up. Oh, it's coming apart. It's not dry enough. Okay. I still think it'll work though. Yeah, I need to let it dry before I play with it anymore. Okay, anyway, I hope that helps some. Oops, thanks for watching.